Self-care is my passion, and wellness is my passion. And self-care, I think if we have seen throughout the last year, is so needed. And there's so many aspects to it that I'm going to focus on just a few today. And it is about nourishing yourself. And when we talk about nourishing ourselves, one of the first things that comes to mind for me is, what are you putting in and on your body? And if you can see behind me, I have a tree of life. So when I say my hashtag, I've got an oil for that, I truly and sincerely mean that. And I can nourish myself with these oils simply by breathing. If you can see my diffuser here, when I diffuse, it breaks up the molecules. So you can begin to change your energy, begin to change your frequency, change your life simply by breathing. In 3 seconds, when I smell an oil, it has crossed my brain-blood barrier and gone back to my amygdala or my memories or my emotional part of my brain, and immediately begin to bring me calm, to begin to center myself, so that no matter what I am going to be doing, I come from a place within. And that really is what self-care is all about. It's nourishing that inner. So that can be your spirit, that can be what you put in and on your body. Be a label reader is my #1 self-care tip. I don't know if you have all seen the news this week. CBS came out with over 20 sunscreen products that have been found to be carcinogenic. And they are labels that I knew and loved and grew up with. They are labels of popular store brands. And now they are finding that they have benzene and different carcinogenic things. So when you pick up your products, please read the labels. When you get your email, for those of you who have signed up, I'm going to be sending a list of things that you should try to avoid. We can't avoid everything all the time, but what we bring into our home does matter. What we're cleaning our floors with, what we are washing our bodies with. Our skin is so highly absorbable. How we clean our floors also affects our fur babies. Our fur babies walk around on that floor. If you're using toxic cleaners, they're absorbing that just like you are. And it is not good self-care. So label reading is #1 tip for self-care. And that goes for your food. What are you nourishing yourself with? In the previous talk, we were talking about organic foods, whole foods, original source foods. Just like essential oils are the lifeblood of the plant. What types of food are you bringing into your home so that you can take care of yourself and bring yourself the best possible energy? Another thing is, how are you nourishing your thoughts? Are you binging out on the news? Are you getting upset with people's posts on social media? Do you know that there are, and this is a big form of self-care, there are actually little places on your social media that you can go, I don't want to see so much from that person. If that person is upsetting you, if you happen to disagree with them, you don't need to respond. You can simply click that little link and you can unfollow. Don't have to unfriend, because maybe next year you'll like what they say. I don't know. But these are just really good things to help you mind your thoughts. And the ability to say no is my third really great tip for self-care. How do we say no kindly? Ask yourself, tune in when somebody says, do you want to meet me at such and such a place? And if you have a twinge, say, no, thanks. I don't think I want to do that right now. You don't have to make up a story. You can, but you don't have to. We need to practice the art of saying no. #1, so that we're not put in situations that bring up our stress level. And #2, so that we are being kind to ourselves first. And if we offer ourselves the grace and kindness that we are so willing to give out in the world, we are going to be so much healthier spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, because our thoughts and our feelings really impact our physical body. These are things that we can control. We can control when we say no. We can control what we put in and on our bodies, and we can actually control our thoughts and feelings. And that brings me to tapping and meditation. I am a meditation recording artist, and those of you who reply to my email when it does go out after this event will be entered in a drawing for a free CD for meditations and messages for life's most challenging times. But what I want to do today is to show you how, when you are feeling stressed or not sure how to even do self-care, you can simply even just tap right here on your chest, right where your sternum is. That area of your body controls your central meridian, which means those energies go to every organ in your body. So when you are gently tapping, and I mean gently, we don't need to tap sense into ourselves like so hard that our bodies are these incredible sensitive instruments. And so if you're feeling stressed about a decision, or think, sometimes when I say, I think you need a little self-care, people will go, I don't have time for that. And immediately their cortisol goes up because they're thinking of all the things they have to do. Well, simply just tap right here on your chest and say, even though I'm feeling all this stress, and you would repeat that, even though I'm feeling all of this stress in my body, I don't have time for this. I'm going to relax for a moment, breathe in and out, and center myself. And ask yourself where you might feel that. If I say, just give yourself a moment and you think about the 10 other things that you need to do. See if you find it somewhere in your body. And just bring your attention there and say, I feel this stress in my body and I acknowledge it. I feel this stress in my body and I acknowledge it. All this stress in my body. I am willing to believe I could let some of it go. All this stress in my body. I thank it. And that might seem strange to say. You're thanking your stress, but your stress is making you aware of where you might need to make changes. And that is incredibly important. So when you think to yourself, oh, Denise just told me I should read labels when I go to the store. That's going to add another 20 minutes to my shopping. I don't have time for that. See where you see that. See if you feel that somewhere. For me, it kind of is right here in my chest where I'm like, oh, I've got this, and this to do. Thank you. Thank you, stress, for letting me know that I need to make changes. And that resistance is telling me something. For you, it might be telling you something different. Whatever I say, if it doesn't resonate with you and you feel something different, know that that is perfect for you. This is what self-care is all about. It's about taking the words that you're going to hear today from me and others and adapting them to work for yourself for your own highest good. When I say you should read your labels and get rid of the crap in your house that might be toxic, and you think, oh, I just spent $40 on that cream. That's okay. That's okay to have that reaction and to know, I mean, this one might get you, money isn't everything. What? Oh, she doesn't know my bills. She doesn't know my budget. No, I don't. But I do know that money is also energy. And you want your energy, whether it's money or that lotion that seems luxurious, you want it to be the highest frequency possible for you at this moment. So that you can bring yourself into greater alignment. Self-care is all about bringing ourselves into greater alignment with the divinity that we are. When I talk about nourishing your spirit, that is the most important one, because that is spirit is connecting you to anything else. All these other things are outside of ourselves. Nourishing your spirit just in these moments that you spent time today to tune in here on Spiritual Communities Network. You have given yourself a blessing because your energies are global. We're tapping into a global consciousness of wellness. And to know that this technique, this gentle tapping technique, actually rewires your brain-body connection, sending calming signals to your amygdala. So I'm compounding that with these pure essential oils. That's the other thing. I happen to use Young Living. If you use a different brand, just read the label. Make sure it says 100% pure therapeutic. And if it does, breathe it in health and wellness and enjoy those benefits. And I'm going to show you some of the other tapping points, which you could go to Spiritual Communities Network on Facebook and scroll through. You'll see my Tapping Tuesdays. There's many free videos there. One is Self-Care Isn't Selfish, and that is what we're doing here today. So the first point would be the side of the hand, then the top of the eyes, right by the eyebrow and the nose bridge, the side of the eyes, right there on the bone, very, very gently. Under the eyes, right there, you'll feel a little indentation on the bone, very gently. Our bodies are incredible, sensitive instruments. And you can be thinking about any stress, just gently tapping on it, any emotion. Under the mouth, right there in the chin point. About an inch or two down from the collarbone, we call these the collarbone points. Gently tapping into nourishing ourselves, body, mind, and spirit, bringing in that divine energy. Under the arm, right where the bra line is for women, you can do one side, You can cross over, do both. Some people go like this. However you're doing it, it is not wrong. Your body instinctively knows that this tapping is calming. This helps lower your cortisol, which helps to boost your immune system. Just this gentle tapping, because when we lower our stress, we boost our immunity. And that is the other reason I often encourage people to tap right here on your breastbone, because it's directly over the thymus. And when you gently tap there, you're stimulating your immune system. And we know we all can use this. We all need stronger immune systems because of what is going on globally on the planet and our stress levels about it. Which is why if you had tuned into Gwen's meditation earlier, beautiful, relaxing, we need to tune into these kind of vibrations because they help us. And meditation doesn't have to be where you are sitting for an hour or two with your legs crossed and your om. There is nothing wrong with that, but scientifically they've shown that 10 minutes of sitting quietly or walking quietly in nature brings you those same benefits. And so does this tapping. This tapping calms your body. Breathing in essential oils calms and brings your body into balance. These are all gifts that we can give ourselves. Again, breathing is another technique that I use, another great technique for you, because oxygen helps us to process things. And one of the easiest techniques that I say people can remember, and they can even teach their children this, or your grandkids, not gonna age gentrify anybody here, including myself, but simply breathing in. You can have your hand, you can teach them, they could have their hand on their lap. You can show them just breathing in as you go up the finger, holding, breathing down. This is called the 5-finger breathing technique. Breathing in, holding, breathing out, come down, breathing in, holding, breathing out on the down, breathing in, holding, breathing out on the down, breathing in, holding, breathing out on the down. And that is something that we can do anywhere, just like tapping on the right here on the chest. No one needs to know what you're doing, but you're taking care of yourself. You can just use your fingers like this. No one needs to know what you're doing, but you are nourishing yourself with that life-giving oxygen. So you're inhaling, and I like to think of it as oxygen is free on the planet. And when we breathe it in, it flows, it helps flow through our body. And so I imagine it as breathing in light, letting it flow through my body, and breathing out anything that doesn't serve me. And when I breathe that out, I imagine it going down into the earth. Mother Earth needs compost. So when we get rid of our crap by breathing out, we're actually helping the earth, because we are giving Mother Earth compost to grow new vital energy. So oxygen is free, tapping is free. These two things you can give yourself no matter where you go or where you are. And once you learn a few techniques like this, you can share them. And that is what I love about community. That is another way to nourish ourselves. Community like this, Spiritual Communities Network. I belong to communities online, What's Outside Your Window, where people post pictures, glorious pictures of what they are looking at and finding the beauty in the moment. and sharing that. And all around the globe, people respond back and say where they're from and what they're doing. And it's a beautiful thing. So that is also part of self-care, is asking yourself, what communities are you part of? And are they nourishing you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically? Physically, maybe you want to belong to a community that walks. Maybe you're not able to walk freely. So wherever you are, I have friends online that do chair yoga. Connect with me. I'll connect you with a community that can help nourish you no matter where you are or what you're doing. So I hope that this has served you well. You're welcome to join me at any time on my Wellness Wednesdays. They post right to Spiritual Communities Network, and also Tapping Tuesdays. Wellness Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Tapping Tuesdays is at 2 p.m. I started to do these as a service during the global pandemic, and I'm having so much fun with them that I am just keeping on going, because it's just a fabulous way for me to also give myself self-care. So that is my service to you today. I hope you found value in it. Much love.